All right, episode 2, Give Me Something Good to Eat, the Halloween episode. Every TV show has to have that holiday episode. I'm sure we'll get a Christmas episode later in the series. Still only on episode 4 right now. But yeah, episode 2, Give Me Something Good to Eat, opens up in 1965. Spoiler discussion, in case you don't know that already. I'm sure it says in the title of the video, so you know that. Spoiler discussion. So, we see Chucky as a kid again in 1965, and he has this razor apple, very Halloween 2, Night of the Demons, or was that a razor in the pie at the end? I can't remember, whatever. So, yeah, Chucky purposely eats the apple, though. That's the twist here. Like, he sees it, he knows it's there, and he purposely bites into the apple to hurt himself. So he's a masochist, wants to feel pain. He's crazy. And we get our first kill rather quickly in this episode. In episode 1, it took to the very end to get a kill. In this one, we get a kill in the opening 5 minutes. The maid gets pushed down, very much like Stitches the Clown, on top of a bunch of knives facing up for some reason in the dishwasher. You should always put them face down. All right, that way when they're done cleaned, when they're done, you can just grab them out more safely and quickly. Not have to be so careful. It's just put them down, and then you can avoid shit like this. And then of course the cops, they start to suspect Jake almost right away. 2 deaths, and they're already he's prime suspect, even though the maid died when no one was home, and they have footage from the ring bell, whatever. I think it's called ring. The camera footage. They're he came home after she was dead, but they still suspect him. And I like the joke here where he's I'm your friend to the end, and he says, "I'm not 6," like Andy Barkley in part 1. So I liked that little joke. And Chucky brings up Glenn very briefly. I wonder if he's going to get brought up more later on down the road in this season, but he knows Jake's gay. He's I had a kid that was gender fluid, and that's really all he says. So, but yeah, it was just interesting. They brought up Glenn/Glenda very quickly, and I'm curious to see if they bring him up again later. And so, Bree, his aunt, and his uncle Logan, played by Devon Sawa, they have a very similar conversation. I doubt this is what they were trying to do, but to me, it felt like another callback to Child's Play 2. Because after so and so dies in part 2, and Andy's blaming the doll, his foster parents in part 2 have this same conversation that his aunt and uncle are having in this one, where they're are we even qualified to take care of a kid like this? It felt, and I've seen that movie a million times, Child's Play 2, so I know a lot of the dialogue, and I was this sounds just like that conversation. And another subtle callback I saw, maybe again it wasn't on purpose, it was just me reading into it, and I'm just looking for shit to call a callback, but there's a drawing on the wall of a half-faced doll. It looks like a drawing of a doll and half the face is missing. To me, clearly an homage to Child's Play 3. Lexi's dad is the actor who plays the creepy foot fetish doctor in Cult of Chucky, and they make a mention of a Dr. Mixter, which to me is a callback to Halloween 2. And this is the Halloween episode, after all. We find out that Devon's mom, the Devon who has the podcast about crime and shit, Hack and Slash, his mom is the detective, which would explain his fascination with crime and why he has that kind of podcast. I thought it was really silly and kind of dumb that the aunt and the uncle believe that the black eye that Chucky gave Jake, which is funny to think that that little doll fist could give him a black eye. How, whatever. They think that that black eye is part of his costume. He's just wearing the same outfit he wears in every episode so far, with the necklace. He's not dressed up at all, but they think that's makeup. They're oh, that looks really good. I thought that was really stupid. They should have been all right, who hit you? The best part of this episode is Chucky going trick-or-treating dressed up like Hello Kitty. You got this probably 18-inch tall. I mean, how tall are these dolls? They're no more than 2 feet. You got this little thing just walking around in a Hello Kitty mask, talking like a grown man. Keep that in mind. Like, he goes to this house wearing this Hello Kitty mask, and he's asking this woman, like, where Lexi's party's at, in a grown man voice, and it's like this 18-inch little thing. But what I love about this scene, besides how adorable Chucky looks in that Hello Kitty outfit, is the fact that he hands the woman the razor apple that you saw in the opening flashback. And then at some point she bites into it and gives the description of Chucky to the police later, which makes them suspect Jake even more because they know that he's like the only kid in the neighborhood that has a good guy doll. So then we get this middle school party that looks like a high school party. These kids are drinking, smoking weed. They seem sexually active. They got this 7 minutes in hell. And, I thought this was going to be a trap for Jake, that the bully kid. He invites him to this party, and he never really has anything there set up as a trap, so that surprised me. I thought we were going to get like some Carrie thing, bucket of blood dumped on his head or something. I don't know, but it wasn't a trap, except the cruel prank we do get is the girlfriend Lexi is dressed up like his dead dad only about a week after he's been killed, or they think he accidentally died. So, but it's only been a week and she's doing this, and her excuse for why he deserves this kind of punishment is because, what he said about me at the talent show. It's like, well, to be fair, Lexi, weren't you bullying him right before that on stage? They had the spotlight on him, and she was like basically telling him, come out of the closet, tell everybody how you feel about Devin over here in front of everybody. And then he, does that to you back, and you're like, you feel like you're the victim? Like, no, you're not the victim, Lexi. You're a fucking cunt who needs to die already. Jesus Christ. If she doesn't die by the end of season 1, I'm going to be pissed. And so, yeah, but her bedroom has like 100 candles lit everywhere. It's so ridiculous. It's such a movie thing. Nobody does this. So Chucky is underneath Lexi's bed when she's making out with his cousin Junior, and Chucky is stabbing up through the bed with this butcher knife. It looks like a really thick bed. I doubt that knife would make it all the way through and even go through it enough to actually kill her. Like, if it didn't, when we see it go through, it goes through maybe like an inch. Like, would that be enough to kill Lexi? Like, it wouldn't kill her. Like, that knife is not that long. But I did like that there was another subtle callback to part 2, because he says, hug this as he's stabbing the bed. And that's what he says in Child's Play 2 to the Tommy good guy doll as he's beating the shit out of it. Junior was nowhere near mad enough at his girlfriend. Like, he never really gives her lip about it either. He never gives her shit. He just tells her in episode 3 to go apologize to Jake about it. But it's like, dude, that's your uncle that she's making fun of. It's not just Jake's dad that she's dressing up as a week after he died. She's dressing up like her boyfriend's uncle, and he's nowhere near upset. Not enough. Like, that's good enough reason to break up with her then. Then this episode ends with Chucky trying to convince Jake to be a killer. He's handing him the knife, and he says, the world is a Super Bowl of slaughter. It's kill or be killed, and hands him a knife. And then, in episode 3, he's trying to train him how to become a killer. Like, you gotta pick your moment and stuff like that. So it's very like Seed of Chucky in a way, where in that movie he was constantly, taking his son/daughter out to hunt people and trying to make his son/daughter a killer like him. We got that kind of bonding in this movie as well. He's trying to make Jake a killer and train him. So overall, I would give this episode 3.5 out of 5. I like it. Not quite at the love it level yet. Not blown away yet. So 3.5. I like this episode more than episode 1. I like the Halloween theme and Chucky going trick-or-treating. Some better moments in this one than part 1. The kill in this one's better than the kill in part 1. The maid getting the knife through her jaw out the other side. Like, would that kill her? I don't know. It just looked like one knife went through her face. and not far back enough to like hit her brain or anything. It just went through her jaw, but whatever. But yeah, better episode than one. Let me know what your thoughts are on this episode in the comments below, and I will see you in episode 3.